Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to In Your House, starring Hollywood House and the Curator Bell. This is the People's Podcast. Haha. Hey, guys, you already know who it is. It's your boy Con, ready to get at work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. That is what we do, and hey, we love it. So let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's all right. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, we can get to you. And ooh, you already know what time it is. It's time to look at the clock because I'm checking the time because the last time that I checked, In Your House was the hottest professional wrestling podcast in the Midwest because we hit you with that work round the clock. You guys all ready? Know what it is, and you guys already know who I am, and that is the director, Hollywood House, ready to hit you with another jam-packed and exciting episode of the podcast that you love to love, and that is In Your House. And yo, it's time to talk a little wrestling with a hip hop feel, hitting you with those LA vibes. We're back. We gonna give it to you, Jack. We gonna give it to you in your house. And that is exactly how we intend to give it to you, as we've been giving it to you for about 4 years now. I mean, it's been a movie, Jack, straight up. And that is exactly how we've been giving it to you in your house, in your car, on your way to school, on your way home from work, any type of way that you can get this work. We delivering it to you right here at In Your House. And man, what a weekend that I just came off of. A fantastic weekend of professional wrestling, as I had the opportunity and the privilege to make my Illinois debut in Macomb, Illinois for a promotion that's actually based out of California, but has moved to the Midwest in Destination 6. Myself and, of course, my co host made our debut. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on in the show. But I brought my co host up, and that means I'm going to have to bring him on because he curates a whole lot of chaos. But at least here on the podcast, he's doing a really great job of curating a whole lot of content too. And of course, that is the marvelous one himself, the marvelous Mr. Bell, curator. Brother man, how you feeling, bro?
Yo, what up, my homie house? Yo, what up, household? How are you out there? Because I am marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And yes, we had a jam-packed weekend of wrestling this weekend that I had the pleasure to take a part of along with yourself. We both made our Illinois debut into wrestling.
Yes.
And it's just
Yes.
a wonderful thing. So we got a lot to talk about as far as that goes. We have a lot to talk about as always, as far as the big promotions, big three, the WWEs, maybe your little AEWs there, to talk about as well, because wrestling don't ever stop, Con. Like, it doesn't ever stop. Like you think it stops, or you go to sleep and then more happens. It's crazy.
That's how wrestling works, man. And
Yeah.
like around this time of year, Bell, it's really ramping up because now we're jumping in. We are a week away. We're going to talk about this as well. We're a week away from the Royal Rumble. That's right. My personal favorite pay-per-view. WrestleMania is great. Love WrestleMania, but the Royal Rumble brings me a different type of excitement. It always brings me into that vibe of what could happen, who's going to show up. The Royal Rumble match always promises great returns, always promises great spots, fun. And then of course when we get serious, when it's time to figure out who's about to win the whole thing, there's so much that goes on in the Royal Rumble. Of course, there's also title matches. They always have big match implications besides the Royal Rumble at the Royal Rumble. So like everything kind of matters, which is one of the reasons why the Royal Rumble is my personal favorite pay per view. And we got that coming up this Saturday, and we're definitely going to talk about that, Bell.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about as far as Royal Rumble speculation and everything that comes along with that. But first, household, like, did y'all hear the news? Did you hear the trumpets? Did you hear everything that comes along with that? The do 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 do, because John Cena landed as the cover of the WWE 2K23 edition. Did you hear about this, Con? Are you excited about this? What do you think? Are you getting
Man,
the deluxe?
yeah, I'm getting it, man. I mean, so I enjoyed this year's game. Honestly, I thought they did a lot of good things as far as fixing the gameplay and moves being a little bit more smooth. As far as it, I mean, as opposed to years past when everything kind of was a little mechanical. It seemed like moves are flowing a little bit better, so their motion controls and stuff like that seem to be getting better. Like I know you're a gamer, I'm a gamer too, so like it benefits everybody if you're a wrestling fan and if you're a gamer for 2K23 to be great, for the 2K games to be great. And I really feel like that this past year they took a step in the right direction because the gameplay is fun as hell. I
Yeah.
have fun playing the game. It's just I
Yes.
wish it were a little meatier in a way of like they really need to start doing what like NBA 2K does, in my opinion, and that's like gradually update your rosters because like the NBA, like Major League Baseball, or like the NFL, uh um wrestling keeps going, and the difference between wrestling and those other brands is there's no off season, so things keep growing and keep evolving and people keep coming and keep going. So I feel like that, like NBA 2K does, it would benefit them to have a system where it updates and kind of keep things fresh as the year goes along, and then when you're ready to drop the new game, just stop working those servers, to stop updating those servers and start focusing on the new server. So I feel like that's something that I feel like they should focus on, because after a few months, the game feels dated.
Oh,
But
yeah.
this game here, I'm excited for a lot of different reasons, man. And I know we're in the group chat, and I think we got a list here as far as some of the features that's going to be coming up on this game.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about that, we could throw that out there, man.
Yeah, so we pulled this up straight from WWE.com, and WWE says WWE 2K23 features several franchise advancements, including a unique take on the 2K showcase, the WWE 2K introduction of the fan favorite War Games, and
Yeah.
expansions to several marquee game modes. In addition, fans can also look forward to a deep roster of WWE superstars and legends, including Roman Reigns, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, Ronda Rousey,
Yes.
Brock Lesnar, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and many more incredibly realistic graphics, animations, camera angles, lighting, plus accessible controls and a new optional pinning mechanic will add to the highly immersive experience. WWE 2K23 Deluxe Edition and Icon Edition are available on Tuesday, March 14th, 2023 via early access. So, look, according to that there are going to be a lot of advancements. I don't know if time will tell if they take that change, that course towards the two other 2K options, as far as the gameplay and server
Updating and
and
stuff like, yeah,
updating and
yeah, yeah.
things like that. But man, I don't know about you, man, but I am super excited about this as I catch my breath from reading off
Yeah.
WWE's long list of updates, man. But sticks out for me is War Games and Cody
Oh
Rhodes.
yeah.
Cody Rhodes
Yeah.
in two games this year will kind of be really dope, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I do. That's going to be really interesting. So I was talking to my son about it, and I mean, before this stuff came out, and we were both speculating that they were gonna drop a trailer or something at the Royal Rumble. Like we thought they were waiting for the Royal Rumble to drop all this news, but they just went ahead and dropped it like a week early, and then they're gonna show the trailer tonight on Monday Night Raw, and we're
Yes.
getting all this information right off the bat. Now,
Triple
when I
X
see all
edition.
this, Bell, I'm thinking that they're divulging all this information because they want to. They gave us a little bit of they gave us a little bit something good with 2K22. Now, for me personally, let me back it up a little bit. I had lost faith in the 2K game, straight up. I had lost faith in WWE games because I mean, I just didn't feel like they were getting it right. I felt like there was too mechanical. And as somebody who's played many wrestling games throughout the years, many wrestling games throughout the years, I mean, Fire Pro, uh, uh, No Mercy, SmackDown versus Raw series, I mean, so many games. I mean, I could keep going. Bring the
Yeah,
pain,
yeah,
yada
yeah.
yada yada. All the SmackDown. I mean, all of them. Revenge, WCW versus NWO Revenge. Boom, boom, boom. So I like to think that like my taste of a wrestling game has evolved over time, and I feel like that you really had a good core base like with the SmackDown series games, like the Bring the Pains and whatnot, because that was like those were like sandbox wrestling games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where you can literally just go anywhere, straight up anywhere, and that made everything interesting. I think you can still do that. Like I think that that should still be done, you know, but I think that there's a place in it today, but also I think that a lot of our product is also being geared mainly towards the ring. You know, these days I feel like wrestling is more like, hey, we unless you're into like the whole deathmatch stuff or anything, like if you're a fan of pro wrestling, like wrestling, everything that you're really seeing is mainly in the ring.
Yeah.
But like I feel like that being able to take the action anywhere around the arena or even anywhere around the building is always going to be a good option.
Yeah, I think that anything that is story driven immersive is honestly what we want, right? That if you give me a good meaty story and give me capabilities to do different things, uh, more things than hopefully you gave me last year, and hopefully it's not just the same game, but just John Cena's on it. I don't want that because I will lose my faith, continue or lose my faith in WWE products, like I did, in previous years. I know this last year I really enjoyed 22.
Me
I
too.
enjoyed
Yeah.
the stories. I enjoyed the Rey Mysterio mode, and it although I am usually busy curating, so I don't get the most time to game.
Right.
Um, when I do get to, I've loved being able to just jump on that and finish my career and finish the little things that I got to do in it. So like, um, I am hoping that it's not just a prettier version of last year. I'm hoping that they're going to give us different things that are going to be meatier things that we can use and that we can really enjoy for future years. But like you said, I think that they should constantly update the real roster. That should
Yeah.
be a number one thing. Like give me live rosters like I get in Madden, like I
Yeah.
get in
Yeah.
NBA. That
Yeah.
that should be a first and foremost thing. Although, do we really want that though? Like I know we asked for that because then when Daddy Vince takes control and major cuts are made and
Things
all we
start to
have
go
on the
down south.
roster
Yeah.
is Roman Reigns and whatever jobber in whatever city that they are at. That'll get a little weird because we are still under this age and watch of, man, it's Vince taking over. So
Yeah. Yep. Yep. No, that's true. That's true. But I mean, That's still something I'd like to see for sure. I really feel like that on Bell. I feel like on 2K22 they really fixed the mechanics of the game. Like I
Yeah.
really feel like that things flowed better as far as like moves and like so you think about wrestling now and we're around it a lot now
Yes.
being integrated and into and in the business
Throwing
like
ourselves in the
there's
world, man.
right in there, bro. Right
Yes.
in there. Like, and it's great. It's great. But we're seeing firsthand that wrestling, like the wrestling that people like to see in 2023 is very fast paced. It's very it's very much like a dance, fluid motion, boom, 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 this and that. Yeah, people like to see their hard hits. People like to see that strong style, but like a lot of that is, people like to see that WCW cruiserweight division style wrestling or that X division style wrestling in the mainstream. So like I feel like that with like in years past, like getting into a move, this is me talking like a gamer now, y'all. Getting into a move, it felt like it was too slow. Like it was like you had to
Absolutely.
press a button and then it's like, okay, well, now we're doing the move. But now this year, it seemed like it just kind of flows like like you press a button, it's like, okay, instead of everything stopping, like it's flowing really well into the next move like you would see in real life. And I think that they did a real good job of that this year, and that's really what kept me coming back to the game. Even though I felt dated, I still it felt like it was dated. I still came back just to be like get my son and be like, hey, let's have a couple bangers right now.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
pick somebody, I pick somebody, and let's just have a banger match. And we still do that. And because the motion to me, the actual way the game plays just feels more fluid to me. And I hope that they just duplicate that for this year because I don't think they need to change too much. I mean, there's probably some touches they can do, but for the most part, I feel like they got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I I agree with you on all points. They cleaned up the clunkiness of the controller use
Yeah.
and the timing. Hopefully, I don't speed it up too much because I am not trying to get my ass whooped online by 8 year olds that say my mom is fat. So, like, like you said, they don't need to advance too much with that, but because they did really well, but can't wait to see what all they give us in this rendition, and hopefully it is worth our money because you and me both are about to drop 100 piece on this deluxe edition. So,
Man, for
right,
real. I already know what's gonna happen. I already know because I believed in I mean, they made me believe last year. Now this year, I'm like, all right, let's take a couple of steps in the right direction. Hell, I had fun playing my GM mode. I
I
enjoyed my GM mode. I
I ain't
had
even
fun
finna
with that.
lie. I'm gonna go cop the physical edition just because I want that case. I want that John Cena case. I want it right behind me. I don't know if the household can see in
Yeah.
my little collection back here, but I want it
Oh, I
right
see it.
there. I want it right there, right? Like, uh, right back there, so everybody can't see it. You see what I did there?
I see what you did. I see what you did.
Yep.
Man, it really looks like that WWE 2K23 is going to be another step in the right direction for WWE games and 2K. I really do. I like the addition. I was feeling like Cody's like Cody came a little bit. Well, he didn't really come late in the year. He did come at WrestleMania last year, but I just felt I was worried that they would try to have him as like a DLC character. And you know how their DLC works, like they break it off into portions. Like you'll get this person in June, this person in
Right.
July, other one in
Right.
August, and it's like, nah, man,
Yeah,
I
why
want
can't you
Cody right
just give me the
now.
whole roster? And then when new
I
people
just want
pop
Cody
up, just
now.
give me that. Like when Bray Wyatt changes his character. Like
Yep.
like give
Yep.
me different renditions of that. And I'm curious to see how this goes with speaking of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
How many renditions, if any, what renditions that we get of him, because like you
That's a
said,
good question.
in years past, sometimes like these wrestling games, they come out and then that character isn't even a thing anymore. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
like we've
Yep.
had in the past where we had like Buzzard Great Bray Wyatt, but he was going through like fiend mode, and we didn't have that
Yeah.
and things like that. And so I hopefully they're able to advance on that, and I really can't wait. Really can't wait. March
Man,
15th,
yeah, it's
around March
Mark. Yeah,
15th. Yeah.
it's gonna be exciting, man. It's gonna be exciting to play another wrestling game. It's gonna get us right back on that road. To I mean, we'll be by the time it comes out, like it'll be a few weeks out from WrestleMania. So it's like there's gonna be a lot of hype around the game, a lot of hype around wrestling. Like I said, it's about to be an exciting time in wrestling with the Royal Rumble and then with WrestleMania season bell.
Yes.
And man, I talk about exciting times, bro, and like when I think of exciting times in wrestling and I think about us, I just go straight to this past weekend, man. Like this past
Yes.
weekend
Yes,
was
we got to
a
tell the people about
vibe,
this
bro.
weekend and
Yes,
all the
man.
fun that we had at Destination 6 Wrestling. All of it. It was
Man.
such a blast. Where do you
Yeah,
want to
man.
start?
Yeah. I mean, first off, like we had it out. We all like okay. So little inside baseball for the fans out there that at least I've learned from being in the wrestling business that the day of the show, really nobody don't talk to nobody.
That's the
like
thing.
like everybody's just in preparation, getting ready, and so and you might get like a few texts here and there, but like everybody's just kind of like in their head, you know what I'm saying, getting ready for what they're about to do tonight. At least from my experience, and that's not, and I don't got no problem with that because I kind of be in the same way. When it's a show day, I'm like, it's the day of the show, you know. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
trying to get
Let's
fired, trying
prep.
to stay fired up and stay ready all day, you
Big
know.
facts.
But I mean, the trip there, it really wasn't a bad trip. I mean, it really wasn't. Like, it wasn't like going to Chicago
No.
or you know, or like trying to go into Indianapolis or something like that. It was an easy drive, you know, to get there. And then when we got there, like, man, I was already feeling the vibe because as soon as you go in there, bro, like you start smelling food and whatnot. You know, it's a six-sided ring type vibe with like the balcony and whatnot, and it's got like this Hammerstein ballroom type vibe to it, bro. Like it's just like the whole like okay, all right. Let's talk about the atmosphere of what like the scenery of Destination 6, the vibe of Destination 6. Like when you stepped in there and you're seeing this balcony, you're seeing this six-sided ring, like just in this random area of Illinois in a church, and it just looks so fire, bro. Like, what are you thinking?
Oh man. So look, just to give people some background, this weekend, as we stated, we were both at Destination Six Wrestling in Macomb, Illinois. If you know a little bit about Macomb, Illinois, the University of Western Illinois is located there, so it's kind of a big middle college town vibe. And then Destination Six actually is in an old church, which if you walk in, yeah, like Khan said, you start smelling food, you start feeling a vibe, like you feel like you can actually make magic there. If you're listening out there and you ever have a chance to see Destination Six Wrestling it live and in person, I implore you all to make the trip down there, make it over there, but buy yourself a ticket, you know, because you will be absolutely entertained in a high product. Um,
Yeah,
and I was everlasting impressed. If you're a young wrestler out there, if you are a young entertainer, young anything in the professional wrestling business at the moment, you should want to go to Destination Six if it's nothing, if, for nothing else. If you want to be a part of a summit before the match, if you want to learn, if you want to grow, if you want to come in and feel like you're a family member right off, like this is the place that you need to be, and this is where like people will learn and grow, and I can't say enough about it. um, but man, you know, we did some we had some fuckery at Destination Six, didn't we? We
we
had
did.
ourselves some fun, didn't we?
We did. We had a whole lot of fun, whole lot of fuckery. Like Bell said, I mean, it's just this vibe and like it's those smaller venues, man. Those smaller venues are great and it gives a more intimate feel for the fans. So the fuckery that we got into meant even more because we was right, you know, it was right there. Like fans fans straight behind us, like in pews and whatnot, like just sitting
Yes.
over there, like close, and then the fans that was over in the stands and whatnot, and it was just like it was a different vibe for me because it's like, geez, this is like up close and personal, and like thinking about where I'm having to direct my attention at. And once I figured it all out, I'm like, all right. And then I had a few biters, people that wanted to get into it with old Hollywood because they everywhere. They love to get into it with me.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh man,
it's just a good
those are some
vibe, bro.
foul mouth little kids there. I swear to
For
Jesus,
real. What's up
Jeebus,
with them
those are some
kids?
foul mouth little kids. Did you
Some
hear what
bad
they were
kids.
saying to us?
Man, I
I
heard some of it. You should have said what they call me.
I well, I couldn't because I had to muffle my ears. My virgin ears could not listen to these demonic little children. I
These
can't believe
chillins.
I can't they said this in a church. I mean, it's not a
These
church
are
no
some
more.
bad chillins.
It's not a
These
church
some
no
bad
more. But
chillins.
oh man, I
They bad chillins.
you know next time we are in Macabre, I got something for them. I got something for these little ratchet ass children.
These are
Jesus.
badass kids. Just badass kids. So we got a chance to be there, and like it was great because I was backstage correspondent. You was also corresponding as well.
Yeah.
And we were both backstage producing. I mean, so like backstage producers for D6, which was great. We was able to film a lot of content, and everybody was just so welcoming. Like I don't want to get too much into the locker room situation because like fans and whatnot. But I will say this, like the locker room vibe was amazing. Like,
Yeah,
oh
that
my
that was
gosh.
something I've
Oh
never
my
felt.
gosh.
It like I felt like I was at my own home with my own
For
family.
real.
And like I will go back. I will go back anytime, anytime, anytime.
And listen, y'all. We're talking about the vibe and everything like that. Understand this too. I want you guys to that are listening to this, watching this on YouTube or listening to it on the podcast. Understand that like this was a show with fantastic talent too. I mean seriously. I mean yes, the locker room vibe was great and the crowd was great. It was a sold out show, but that's because the moving parts that was in there, the performers were so incredible. You had the world's most dangerous game Paragon. You have the right-handed guy Sam Knight. You have upcoming stars like Mount Olympus, like Jay
Yes.
Silva, Kendall Fire. Come on, you have your stars like Mickey Midas.
Hey,
You
you
have
better
your
not
stars
forget
like Victor
Shiloh.
Andrews.
You better not forget
I know.
Shiloh because
Oh my
I
gosh.
I you know he I don't know if he likes you, Con.
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
gonna
I'm gonna win him over.
I
Listen. I'm gonna win him over.
I feel a little weird because I like Shiloh. I think
Man, I do too. Like,
there's
listen,
something about just being ignorant and just I like it. And I like the
it's a Cali thing.
hypocrisy of it. And
It's a
I don't
Cali
know.
thing.
I don't know.
Listen, Shiloh is great. He flew out from the West Coast for this show. He's mainly affiliated with West Coast wrestling, but he came through because Destination Six means something to him and means something to Sam.
Yes.
Production. Chris over there was doing great work. Mama CC slapping Sam across the face. We gonna and this suspended man's.
Man,
It's like it was just a terrible night for Sam.
I didn't even realize like I didn't even realize what was going on because I was in the back. I was eating, and because Mama Cece was, she cooked all that good food, and why not eat it? And
Right.
and then next thing I know, Sam is just out there, and then he got suspended. He's gonna blame me, right? Like Sam's gonna blame me
Oh
for this.
man.
He's gonna say like it has something to do with my stupid hair or something like. Even though I like my hair, like and I
My
thought
hat. What
I
was wrong
thought
with
he
my
said it
hat?
was great. Like, but that's besides the point. I don't even know what happened there.
Yeah, he got suspended. Got
Oh
suspended.
man, I
But then you still. I mean,
I
even
can't
with
get
all the
speared by Sam.
shenanigans,
Like, Con, I can't get speared
it
by
would feel
Sam.
terrible. He'll
I
cut me in half. Straight cut me in
yeah
half.
yeah. You're gonna have to take mine because I cannot.
Oh God. Yeah, we're gonna hear from Sam.
Yeah. At least we got a couple months, and we got a few
Yeah, we got
months.
some time.
Yeah,
We got
yeah,
some
yeah.
time.
It'll be all right.
but no, the show itself, and then guys like uh Victor Andrews, and then we also had Don't Die Miles, who's actually from Illinois, so got a chance to wrestle there in Illinois. They're
Yeah.
great.
Victor Andrews
And
from Control Your Narrative also has been what
AE,
ROH,
yeah,
yeah,
yep,
AEW. Yes, big names on this
NXT.
card.
I mean, exactly. Moving around, doing great stuff. You already know Mickey Midas has done some great things. His past appearances with AEW Dark, man, just great talent to fill out a great vibe on a show. To fill out a great crowd that came to watch wrestling, and we were there. We did our thing. Now, one thing about me that I've always wanted to contribute, that I've always felt like I can give to wrestling, is production.
Yeah,
And that's what I do. And that's what I feel like we do. Like, I've produced many videos for the set. I've produced the set's theme song.
yeah,
Now producing content and producing backstage segments and everything for D6. It was great. It gave me a chance to hop into a different role, backstage correspondence. I've done commentary, managing, now backstage correspondence. And I got to tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed being there to help bring the best out of these young future stars in promos, because I mean, they're all,
absolutely,
wrestling and learning the trade of wrestling and everything. And that is great. You like learn the wrestling, be a crisp wrestler, be the best wrestler you can be. But if I can help anybody find themselves and help them pull out a character, pull out who they can be in front of the camera when it's time to speak, then I feel like that I'm fulfilling something special in wrestling, and playing my part. And that's why I'm enjoying this backstage production role as much as I am. I really
absolutely.
felt like that everybody was really open to giving us promos and giving us their time at D6.
Yeah, I again can't say enough about all the wrestlers and all the competitors that were there at D6, and everything that they were just happy to do and willing to do, because everyone there believed in the product that they were putting out, and as they
Yeah.
should, because it was a phenomenal product. But as we talk about D6, I want to give some highlight to the set's very own, new Mr. Impact champion of D6, Kindle Fire.
Yes.
Let's give him his praise
Absolutely. For
and his
real talk.
shout
Real
outs.
talk.
Like, man, just watching him and watching him work, absolutely one of the best competitors that we have out here in the Midwest, and thank God he's on our side. You better keep him
For
on our
sure.
side. I don't know. I don't know what you got to do, but I think you should keep him on our side. I don't
I
know.
agree.
I don't,
I agree.
I don't know if we gonna lay down for Sam, but that's
Nah, we ain't got to talk about that. We'll talk about
all
that
right,
another
all
time. We
right,
on
all right, all
camera.
right,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right,
yeah.
all right, all right.
But no, Kendall deserved this moment. I mean, straight up. I mean, we talk about storylines and yada yada yada, blurring the lines. I'm keeping it real. He deserved this moment. And then, bro, it was so amazing. The doggone confetti and the
Yes.
streamers, that had to feel fucking amazing for him,
Oh
because
yeah.
like
And
knowing
his son
Kendall.
was there. His wife was
Yes,
there.
his wife was there. That
Yeah.
dog. I mean, like, that's a moment, dog. Like, that's a moment. And knowing Kendall as well as I know him, there was times where he felt like he was like, man, nobody's seeing what I'm doing out here. Like, and I feel that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just like, dang, I wish people would pay attention to what I was doing. And then he figured it out. This Mr. Broadway is just, he's just figuring it out, and he deserved that moment. And like, if you see the videos, and like, I'm hearing from people that was close to the ring and everything, like, the kids just love him. Like, they love him. And like, he's a good, just good energy on that whole D6 arena, man. So like, he's the next man. He's the guy. He's the guy. Like, Kendall is
Absolutely.
gonna go super far. His time is coming, and I'm just happy to have him part of what we're doing in any way. I was when I brought him into the set, not the heel faction, but the family that we are. backstage. When I brought him in, I knew all he needed was an opportunity, and he had an opportunity, and fuck, he ran with it. He's doing so well. You know what I'm saying? Proud of him.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yo, I can't say enough about Mr. Broadway, Kindle Fire, and you can find if you want to know more about Mr. Broadway, Kindle Fire. I check out his Facebook page. It's Mr. Broadway, Kindle Fire. Give him a like. Follow him. Check him out because he is absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it.
Also, check him out. We actually have had him on the show, so keep that in mind too. Go back and listen to that old episode. If you're just now figuring out about Kindle Fire, we actually did an in-depth interview with Mr. Broadway. Go back and
Yes, we
check out
did.
that episode. It's in the archives. And yeah, man, he definitely deserved that moment. We had loud and proud Logan Myers who won the Midwest Express Championship, man. That was a huge moment for that young man to win that belt, bro.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And man, let's talk about fan support. I think one and two is right there. Is Kindle Fire and Logan Myers, the people the D6 fandom. They love
Yeah,
them some Loud and Proud and Mr. Broadway, right?
yeah, yep. They do.
They
They
absolutely
do. They
do.
truly do. And
Yes.
it was great because like I've known Logan Myers for a while too. I knew him when he first started. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Um, and man, his growth. I mean, being around for only like 4 years as I have, damn man, seeing how some people get it and others don't, but we'll talk about the people who get it because I don't want to be I'm not in that mode to be negative. I'm in that mode to speak love and speak life because of the excitement that I had from D6.
It's
But,
okay.
but
If they
people
get
that
it, they get it. If they don't, they're probably just sitting around wondering. I wonder who they're talking about. So,
right, exactly.
yeah.
Facts. But like watching some of these athletes, these gladiators, watching these kids turn them in, you know what I'm saying? Just in this short amount of time, dog, it's cool because like the growth is real. And like that's what I see with loud and proud Logan Myers, somebody who has grown and really leaned into who he is as a competitor, who he is as a character, and it can only go up from here. So I'm super proud of loud and proud Logan Myers for winning the D6 Midwest Express Championship, defeating another young talent that I'm very familiar with, and that's Dalton Davis.
Yes, and in an absolutely spectacular match, defeating Davis, might add. Um, I can't say enough about Logan Myers. I've been a follower of his in my own young wrestling career, wrestling path. So like, he's a worker and he's a hard worker, and you can see it in every match that he has and every performance that he has.
Absolutely, dog. I'm straight up telling you. So like from somebody like I said earlier in the podcast, so I played a lot of GM mode on the wrestling games, right? Like promoter mode and whatnot on
Right.
like New Japan World. So like I just be looking at talent, and like when I look at the talent that was in that D6 locker room this past weekend, I mean, dog, it's crazy. I mean, Aaron Atlas has been around for a long time, but he's still really young. So like he can do great. He's going to continue to do great things. Jeffrey John is somebody that stands out to me as somebody that's going to be a big star. He's already making appearances on like GCW. He's made a
Yes.
GCW appearance, but he just he's there's something there with him, and like I feel like that once it all comes together for him, he's gonna crack through and get to that next upper echelon. I think it's just a matter of time for somebody like Jeffrey John.
Yeah, yeah, the Babushka Brawler, yo. Like, love it, bro. Absolutely love it.
Straight babushka baron, bro.
Yeah.
And he does a great job. So that's somebody that stands out to me. Mr. By the Book, Gaston Leroux. uh I mean, without giving too much away, I mean, Guy's pretty much a bucket as a promo. Like he knows what he's saying and he kind of says it with intent. And like when you can deliver promos with intent and like you can be yourself, I believe. And like that's what I caught with him. I think he's somebody else that's gonna be somebody that you need to watch out for coming up. I like his gimmick, Mr. By the Book. Yeah, he's got the book of wrestling with him. I just think it works and that he's going to grow from there, and that's a good base for him to grow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And he's an AIWT television champion, I believe too. I can't say enough about Gaston. On the opposite side of wrestling, inside wrestling, I think we owe him some, and maybe a little bit more, because I don't know. Yeah,
Put the boots on, doing.
So just saying.
Oh
Check out D6 on when it drops on YouTube if you
yes,
weren't able to see it. But yeah, we can't say enough about the amount of happenings that happened at Destination Six this weekend. It was a
yes,
vibe. It was a definite vibe for sure.
dog. It's always a good thing. And listen, I just want to prefix this with this. We don't want to be turning fans away. Like we want people to come in and we wish that there could be room for everybody, but like these buildings can only take so many people. And like when
Hmm.
you fill building capacity to where you're turning people away, it stinks for the people that's why you got to buy your tickets in advance. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
Buy
absolutely.
buy your tickets in advance. Buy your tickets in advance. Because like no, we don't want to turn people away, but like these shows are hot. So like you gotta like if you were to my advice to somebody that got turned away is be ready for the next announcement of the next show and get your tickets as soon as they're available. That's I
Yeah,
mean, and
absolutely.
I'm
We
not
can tell
trying to
you right
sell you.
now.
I'm not trying
It'll
to sell you.
No, not trying to sell you, but
I'm just
we
keeping it
we
real
can tell
with
you
you.
that the next Destination Six show will be March 18th. In Macomb, Illinois, same destination location. So be ready, be checking out for the pre-sale drops and things like that. So you are ready and can get your D6 fix, because you'll love it.
Yes, yes. Like I said, great vibes, so much energy, and just an overall great experience has made D6 one of my favorite places to be in wrestling right off the bat. Now we talk about some of my favorite things in wrestling, and one of my favorite things in wrestling, Bell, is the Royal Rumble. So we're gonna go ahead and take a break. We're gonna pay some bills. When
Gotcha.
we come back, me and Bell are going to jump right into speculating and talking about this year's Royal Rumble.
Hey.
Hey guys, it's your boy the Director,
That was a
Common
good
House
first.
of In Your House, and I'm here to let you know about a small business that produces beard products and also supports small stage, independent, professional wrestling stars. It's called Ring Master Beard Company. Try one of their several scents. Your beard I don't know if you know balms or mustache wax and keep your beard looking and feeling sweet. Purchase your favorite wrestlers or personalities,
Yeah.
personalized scents,
Okay.
and they receive a portion of each sale. And with that being said, don't forget to pick up a bottle of the Director in Alakan House Special. Your boy, a blend of eucalyptus, mint, and tea tree oil. Have your beard feeling fresh. Have your beard feeling smooth. I can't see you when just like you break, so you gotta speak to me. The Director. Follow Ringmaster Beard Company on Twitter and Instagram at Ringmaster Beard or on their Facebook page, and that is Ringmaster Beard.
I'm good when you're.
Welcome back to In Your House, and of course, I am your director, Hollywood House, and I am sitting in with the curator of chaos and content, here at In Your House, and that is the marvelous Mr. Bell. As we are talking about a plethora of things, a plethora. There we go,
Slethora. Oh, you got
plethora,
your words slipping
slithering
and
around.
sliding
I know.
and Kofi Kingston on it all around. What are you doing over here, Con?
I
Wait,
don't
wait,
know.
wait.
I don't know.
You must be getting ready because we're about to talk about the Royal Rumble.
Absolutely. We're about to talk about the Royal Rumble. But of course, before we do that, me and Bell got to do our due diligence. And that's, of course, thank you guys. Thank you so much for making us a 5-star podcast on Apple Podcasts. It is truly appreciated. I'm always going to thank you guys for that because you guys come through. You guys give us downloads. You guys have had us charted. You guys have really done. It's you guys, the household. And I'm once again, this ain't no just pandering or whatever. I'm keeping it real. You guys really put us to where we are at in terms of the page, in terms of the place that the In Your House brand has in wrestling. And that's because of you guys hopping on this bandwagon. So please continue to do that. And we thank you so much. While you guys are doing that, head on over to another podcast that I have the privilege to produce, and that is The Pope's Point of View, hosted by NWA star, the Pope, Elijah Burke, and NWA personality and manager and PWI contributor, Pollo Del Mar, the champion of managers and the manager of champions, as they talk and give their opinions on professional wrestling, on the AEW level, on the WWE level. On they talk about NWA, pretty much anything, any hot news that's going on in the professional wrestling world. They are talking about it. So go and get that opinion. And that's Pope's Point of View. And that is on all major podcasting platforms. While you guys are doing that, head on over to www.prowrestlingtees.com/inyourhouse, where you can get yourself a Hollywood house shirt, or you can get an In Your House shirt, or you can even get a shirt to represent the set. And those all there. Once again, www.prowrestlingtees.com/inyourhouse. And that's HOWSC. Of course, the W stands for work. And we're about to get right into the work right now as me and my man, the curator, we're going to talk about the Royal Rumble, man. And it's coming this Saturday, bro. And it
Yes.
should be a movie as it is every year.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited for the Royal Rumble. It's my favorite pay per view of the year because who doesn't love to see people flying over top of a rope?
Of the ropes and whatnot.
Oh, man. Sometimes they get hung up just as I did on my words there. But man, it's my favorite pay-per-view. Like hands down always has been. I cannot wait for this year. And this year like has been built up. It feels a little bit bigger. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of the constant promos for Cody coming back. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's because like Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens feels like raw, like it's gonna like something is going to actually happen out of that. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, or if it's just the excitement of Royal Rumble, and then we know after that we are on the road to WrestleMania. So
Facts.
yeah,
Facts.
yes,
So man, we got the Royal Rumble. If you can go ahead and pull the card up, and but we'll talk about some favorites here first while you're doing that. Is there anybody like that is involved in this year's Royal Rumble that you're like, okay, this guy is my favorite to win, or even looking at somebody else and think, well, he's a sleeper, he might actually win. Is there anybody that you're thinking there as far as favorites, maybe a sleeper?
so Cody's winning this Rumble. I hands down Cody is winning this Rumble, and I like that's my pick. I don't even need a second pick. I don't need like a sleeper or anything like that. He's probably coming in at like we'll call it number 8, and he's winning it. I will call that. We will call that a curator fact right there. You can call it a hypocritical threat. I don't care what you call it. Uh, that is what I am calling it right now. So, but the thing I look forward to most is the rumors who may appear. Are we going to see
Yeah.
Jay White in the Royal Rumble? Are we going to see a New Japan signed talent? Logan Paul will he return?
Yep.
So much. Also, will Edge return this year for the Royal Rumble? You know,
That's the
um,
thought too.
but then on top of that, I feel like we are going to have bigger surprises than we haven't seen in years past. And I don't exactly know what that even means yet, but I feel like they're planning something that the royal this Royal Rumble is special, a little bit more special, or at least a little bit more thought is being put into it. Maybe it has something to do with Triple H. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to a little bit of all of it. But who's your go to guy? Who's your pick?
For me, honestly, the most sense for me is Cody. I mean, straight up. I mean, it's just Cody. He comes back. He's got this feel good return story. There was already a push that was supposed to be in line for him before he had that injury,
Right.
and then he still went ahead on good faith. Went ahead and went through with that match that eventually became one of the best matches in that entire year, which was a Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins. Um, and yeah, it just feels right for Cody to win this event this year. Um, as far as a sleeper pick for me, somebody that's been doing great on the card all year, but hasn't really been in that title picture. But he's been making pretty much everything else work for him, and that's Seth Rollins. That'd be somebody I could see maybe nobody considering like, hey, he wouldn't win, but he is credible enough to win it.
What if
So
they're the
that's a
last
sleeper for
two?
me.
What?
Finn.
No. What if they're the last two? What if it's Cody
Oh, if
Seth?
they're the last two.
And,
Oh
and we
man.
have a like Cena Batista like finish where they both land.
Oh, that'd be crazy. Just make it a
uh,
triple threat, I guess.
yeah, something. This will be interesting because Seth has to be in the fold for WrestleMania season, main eventing WrestleMania. He has to be in
I
that
mean, the
fold.
year
There's no
he had.
the last couple years that he's had and everything that he's done, like, since the inception of the Messiah to now, this new incorporation of Seth freaking Rollins. Like, I just,
Yep.
yes,
Visionary.
yes.
And it's just this is so I could see it. I'll say that. My number one pick would be Cody, but I wouldn't be terribly shocked if Seth Rollins ended up winning it as well. Okay, here's an interesting thought with all this bloodline business. What if uh what if Sami Zayn were to win the Royal Rumble?
That would be super interesting as well. I don't have
Not saying it's gonna happen.
right. Not saying it's gonna happen at all. But see, that's what I'm looking forward to, is seeing what Sami Zayn's involvement is going to be in this uh, Royal Rumble and Royal Rumble matches.
Yeah. Oh
Because
yeah.
he had, with the year that he's had, um, he has to factor into that end game. So, you asked me to pull up the card for the Royal Rumble, and there's not a whole lot announced yet. There is obviously men and women's Royal Rumbles, and then there is the Raw Women's Championship with Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss, and of course the undisputed WWE Championship, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. And then, of course, we have the pitch black match, Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight. Um, Other than that, nothing else has been announced, so we don't know
I
any
bet.
other card.
I bet that's the card, dog. I mean, straight up, I
Yeah, I
bet that's
would.
the card because
I
you
wouldn't
got to
doubt that
consider the
that's
time
just
for the Royal
one.
Rumble matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to consider the time for the Royal Rumble matches.
The only thing that I'm thinking is maybe they throw a pre-show match in there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of expect the Usos to be defending something, even though I know they have the tournament that's going on
And
Raw and SmackDown. But
yeah, now that you mention it, the Judgment Day has an opportunity. I'm surprised they're
yes,
not doing it there, at least on the pre-show.
well that it's Judgment Day in the Usos tonight, right?
Is
With
that going
Raw.
down tonight on
Yeah,
tonight's Monday Night Raw?
yeah, I believe that's Raw pornography.
Raw
Um,
30, right? It's Raw
yeah,
30, isn't it?
tomato, tomato. Yeah, yeah. That's what's going down tonight. So I look to see that. I bet the Usos do something, have
They got to, right?
yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what their involvement is. What do you think the over under is on us getting a Vince McMahon appearance at Rumble?
I want to lean towards no. I
No.
don't think he's I don't think he's ready to. I mean, yeah, Vince McMahon is the type of guy that'd be like come out and he probably like welcome to the Royal Rumble and then leave just to pretty much fuck everybody.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
but but I don't know if we see him. I don't think that we do. At least not at that point. I mean, I lean closer to maybe WrestleMania. I don't know, but if we do at all. But as far as the women's Royal Rumble match, who do you got? Do you got anybody specific?
I think the only answer for the women's is Rhea. Um, and
Damn it. Damn it.
so that we get Rhea Bianca at WrestleMania. I feel like we're probably on the same wavelength with that, right? Like or
Yeah,
around roundabout because there's no other story. There's no other story that needs to be told. It's come around full circle now. Rhea has dominated even without a belt. Bianca is John Cena. Um, reincarnated, and that has to be the story there, unless like there is a surprise, but I can't even think of it a surprise that could come, unless like would a Tessa Blanchard would she debut at WWE? Is she still under
I don't know.
contract
I think she's still under
weirdness?
some fire.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean I'm sure, but like I don't really see too much else happening in that women's division. We know Sasha's not coming. We will probably get a Naomi appearance, and hopefully she does a Naomi spot. And it'll be nice to see her. I hope she is back. Um,
That'd be great. Yeah,
but I don't have anything else that I'm really like looking forward to in that women's rumble yet, and I'm hoping some people change my mind.
for sure, for sure. I mean, I don't think you have a Bailey win the Royal Rumble. I don't think she needs to. Plus, she
No.
had a lot of opportunities at the title throughout the year against Bianca Belair. So I don't think people want to see that again at WrestleMania. They want to see something different.
Yeah.
And let's face it, like it's mommy mania, bro. Like mommy, it's all about mommy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like she's been really one of the, like you said, one of the main factors in the women's division without having to hold a belt. She's the eradicator of the Judgment Day.
Yes.
She's been prevalent in storylines that honestly was only being written for characters like a China, you know what I'm saying? For like a Camille, like
Mm-hmm.
she's made herself relevant. She's transcended divisions. Like she's out there with her faction that's the rest of them are guys, and she's the only female in the faction, and she holds her own like a China, like you love to see it. That's the vibes that I get from Rhea Ripley. It seems like that to me, the obvious choice is somebody who's broken out and really become a star in her own right this year. And well, that's Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, yeah. No, there's no one better than Rhea Ripley right now. I agree. Her and Bianca are neck and neck, and they're the real like at least. I don't know. I feel like they're the like Cena Orton of their
I
own
could see
day,
that.
right?
I could see
Maybe
that.
not
Yeah,
Rock Austin yet, but definitely Cena Orton. So like no hate towards the women. I just like at all because I love watching them work.
love women's wrestling. Yeah.
Just there who better than Rhea and Bianca right now?
I mean, it's great. I mean, it's to me, it's the best option. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? To me, it's the best option. I mean, they're gonna do what they do if they go with like some crazy like Ronda Rousey. I hope they don't do that, but Stranger things have happened at the Royal Rumble. And strange things are gonna happen at the Royal Rumble. With this blackout match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
that's gonna be interesting. I don't even know what to
well,
expect. Do you know what to expect
that's what
from
I'm
this?
saying.
Like,
I
so this will
Is it
this.
gonna be like a pitch black street fight or what?
I don't know. I think like
Fighting in the dark?
if I can steal a phrase, I think this will be a movie. Like legit.
Yeah.
Um,
Cinematic.
yeah. But it'll be interesting. I I hope this means that we get Fiend, like, and maybe Fiend back, because or this past weekend we saw the re-debut of Firefly Funhouse, um, and Funhouse Bray. So I think this will be a lot of different iterations of Bray. Who knows what's going on in Bray Wyatt's mind right now, and what
Right.
and all of the true fuckery that he is creating in it. Because I think we're about to go on a journey. So, you know,
Are we gonna see the Wyatt Six? You think we see the Wyatt Six
I
too soon or not?
well, no, I think all the alignments are there. Because we will see something from Alexa, in this women's championship match that will directly
Yep.
relate to whatever is going on in the world of Bray Wyatt. And I think it kind of all we get a better grasp on what everything really really looks like here. Um, I know, like, it's been the slowest story, but I think we're getting a little bit of payoff here, towards whatever we are going towards in WrestleMania, which is honestly, if it looks like it, Bray might be the first wrestler to fight himself, which might be the craziest thing ever, but it's something to see.
It would definitely be something interesting. I got to tell you, uh, LA Knight has really stood his own in this feud. And when I say that, and that's not to say that LA Knight is some scrub or some rookie, because he's not. I mean, he's not.
Yeah.
Eli Drake has been
Yeah.
around for a long time. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I like what he does, and I like how he's establishing himself. So even coming out of the other side of this feud, I'm excited to see what LA Knight does next. Like, straight up.
Absolutely, so am I. I'm a big fan of LA Knight, former Eli Drake, um, because he's just a consistent worker. If you're a follower
He is,
of
yeah.
wrestling, and like you want to follow somebody, or like build your build something after somebody, he's one person to study for sure, because you can tell he studied the greats and studied the greats and studied the greats. Um,
Yeah.
and you can tell that from his character. I mean, he's not just another rock, or a rock, or anything like that. He really puts in work with this. And this Bray Wyatt feud, although it has been weird, like all Bray Wyatt feuds, if we're being real, this one has been interesting. It has felt like it has been directed by Bray.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it all, and I can't wait to see what we see out of this weekend.
Man, it's gonna be great. I'm definitely excited for the Royal Rumble. I guess my thought is this. Do you see I mean, we all know that Roman's coming out of the other end with the titles, right? I mean, that's gonna be what goes down,
Yeah,
right? I
they
mean,
they are ones.
this one this one's an obvious. It's been a fun obvious. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Kevin Owens is Kevin Owens, and he does a great job of making you believe that he's going to have a chance. I mean, it's not like he's never been a Universal Champion before. He has.
Oh, I think this is going to be a
Um,
dogfight. But we are
yeah,
going to uh, somehow Roman will retain. We know this will be a bit overbooked. We know we will have Sammy involvement somehow. This might be the eradication of Sammy, but we don't know, because tonight on the pornography edition of Raw, um, they are going to be having the trial of Sami Zayn. He's going to tribal court, so we'll see what will happen from that tonight. But Sammy's going to have some sort of involvement in the Royal Rumble, in the decision of the match, and in the decision of what goes forward. So there will be a lot to see there. And I think that's the greatest thing about Roman matches here lately is that like we can know he's winning, but man, I'm so excited, and I think everybody else is. Where's this going though? Um,
Yeah, yeah.
let me ask you this, Con. What do you think about the random word that we heard over the weekend that Dwayne the Rock Johnson is not available for WrestleMania due to him not being in ring shape? What do you think about this at this time and everything else? Do you think this is, just WWE, trying to swerve us? Or do you think this is real? Because Dwayne Johnson is a busy, busy man. He's running football companies, whole sports leagues, and making about 8.7 billion movies, all at the same time. Do you think he's not going to be there, or going forward, or do you think this was a swerve?
Honestly, I think he's gonna be in LA.
I
I do.
I I I believe he's going to be in L.A. Like, why wouldn't he be
I
in
think he's gonna
L.A.?
be in
Isn't
LA.
that where they film movies most of the time?
Yeah,
Like, I mean, I know
he'll
he's
be
like
there.
the biggest action star ever and stuff like that. Even though like he may have just killed DC. But that's another story for another podcast. Check out the weekly plug. But like how could he not be in LA? I think this is a swerve. I think this is WWE trying to swerve us a little bit, trying to pull the wool over our eyes because this is what we've been building for 2 years now, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And I think I really truly feel like that it's a great opportunity to do it. I mean, this is the time to do Roman Reigns versus The Rock. It just feels right. Who's the head of the table? And honestly, straight up, you don't even need the title to be involved. Like, I know that they're probably gonna have Roman be champion going into it, but they don't need the title to tell this story. Who's the real head of the table? Is it the tribal chief who's running the show in professional wrestling right now, the apex of WWE, the top of the top, or is it the man in the family who's transcended professional wrestling, who's now splashed into being not just the most electrifying man in sports entertainment, but
The
the most electrifying man in entertainment?
entertainment. Period. Absolutely.
Period.
Period. I
There's a fight here with no title involved. There's a story here with no title involved.
There is absolutely a fight there with no title involved. But I also think it would be silly for Roman to hold this long just to lose it. But I can see them telling a story both ways. You don't need a title, but I'm gonna throw some more speculation at your way because I don't. You've seen the Royal Rumble graphics, right? For
Yeah.
this year, you got everybody like in the clouds and stuff. And
Yep.
and what is it in the background of those clouds, those dark clouds? You see lightning. And you know what produces lightning, Con?
What's that?
The most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
Facts. Facts.
You're not fooling me, WWE. I see it.
Hey, it could be happening. They could just be trying because sometimes I think sometimes like the most obvious thing works, but then it's like if you see it coming too easily, then it's like like for example, like the whole Mercedes Monet thing, like it would have held more weight had it been more of a surprise, but we all knew that she was gonna be there. A whole
Right.
other thing we don't really need to get into. But I mean, I feel like now that everybody's like fully expecting The Rock to be there, I mean, there's been fan graphics made for months now. You know
Oh,
that
couple few
of
years of
yeah,
years.
of Rock and Roman Reigns, and it's like now feels like the right time. They're in LA now, feels like the right time. They're in Hollywood, it feels like the right time. But now it's like, okay, now that everybody's kind of expecting that, how do we kind of throw them off the trail?
Yeah.
You know, and like sometimes you got to do that. So I think fully them with these new speculations that he won't be there, these new rumors that he won't be there, is trying to throw everybody off the trail. If I'm being honest.
I don't know. I don't know, Con. Look, it was solidified for me when Dwayne put Tiny Roman in Young Rock and alluded towards this WrestleMania specifically. This is happening.
Yeah.
This is happening. Like this is happening. Like don't swerve me. Like just bring him out. I, okay. What if you're right, right? Like what if he comes out this this Saturday at the Royal Rumble, help somehow involves himself enough for Roman to lose, and then they feud on for WrestleMania, and then we have a branch off feud with the story that we've already also been telling of Sammy and Kevin.
Yeah.
Man, there's interesting things that could happen. I don't think WWE will go that route, but man, it could be interesting. So much you could tell
It
off
could
that.
so much different things that you can do. There's so much things that's intertwining, twists and turns going on. And if you guys listen to one of the old episodes that we did a few months ago, I said this is probably going to be one of the more compelling roads to WrestleMania that we've seen in a few years. And I still believe that even months after recording that podcast and saying what I said, I still feel like this is going to be one of the most compelling roads to WrestleMania that we've seen in quite some time. It's going to be very, very interesting, man. But this has been an interesting and great episode, bro. It's been fun. It's been a vibe as it normally is.
Yeah.
You know, we got a chance to get another great episode knocked out, talk about some WWE games, and of course the vibe that was D6 and in Macomb, Illinois, and just the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble's news all is news all in itself.
Yeah.
But now we've put it all together, man, and had a great episode. Let's go ahead and call this one, man, and of course I got to give you the floor so you can go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you, the projects that you're doing, what's next for the curator Bell.
Oh yes, yes. Yo, so thank you, Con. Thank you, household. I agree. This has been a marvelous episode of In Your House, and just as every episode is marvelous. But my name is the Curator Bell. You can find me at Curator Bell across all social media platforms, whether that's Instagram, whether that's Facebook, whether that's Twitter. It's at Curator Bell. You can also find me on a plethora of other platforms. I produce comedy podcasts on the Kokomo Press podcast or Kokomo Press page on Facebook. We have a podcast that stemmed off of that. I also have a weekly show now that if you're bored, if you don't know what to do with your week, if you're just looking to help, looking to find some activities for yourself. I call it the Weekly Plug. It's with my homie Scrap, and we just give you ideas on things that you can check out, things that you can hit up, and all of that. So check that out. That's the Weekly Plug. My name is Curator Bell, and man, household, I love you. I love you.
Guys, that is my man, the curator of chaos and content, the co-host here at In Your House. That is the marvelous Mr. Bell. We truly appreciate everything that he does here. And now it's time for me to do my thing and let you guys know where you can check me out at. You guys already know I'm out there at your local show creating a whole lot of fuckery. He creates the chaos, I create the fuckery, I direct it.
Mm-hmm.
And we do it at shows like Emerge, like D6, Heroes and Legends, so much more. Also, of course, you can check out my music. Check me out on Spotify, on Apple Music, YouTube. It's all over those places. Con Rome, The Art of the Real album's been out for a little bit. With the track that I produced for, of course, the notorious professional wrestling group, The Set. Check that out. Track number one on The Set. And of course, you guys can follow everything that I do, whether it be this podcast or the music or the fuckery, the shenanigans that I create in professional wrestling as a commentator, as a backstage correspondent, as a manager, as a backstage producer, all that stuff. That's at the Hollywood House on Instagram. That's at Hollywood House on Twitter and on Facebook. And of course, follow this great podcast to follow me and Bell's journey as we talk all things mainstream professional wrestling. We talk indie wrestling, and of course, you guys listen and hear our growth as active participants in the professional wrestling business in real time as we grow and learn and become more useful, more Swiss Army knives in this business as we plan to do, as we intend to do. And you can follow this podcast at In Your House, and of course that is HOWSE, and the W stands for work.
Work.
So let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's all right. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, hey, we can get to you guys. You already know we got Emerge 66 coming up. That's pulling up in Columbus, Indiana, and that is going to be February 11th. Guys, head on over to www.prowrestlingtees.com/inyourhouse where you guys can get that work and you guys can get that shirt. And guys, we tell you this all the time. Hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone. Because the household, we still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
Peace. Vince McMahon's coming back, I swear to God.